always respond well to that memory. It was from a better time in your life. Before the
I
endless
think I
hours of
may be
hard
an
work
odd
and
gamer
regret
in some
that
respect. Rarely have I been one to get excited for a major release from a big studio. I like all sorts of games like first-person shooters and role-playing games. There are rarely titles though that I just have to talk about after I beat the campaign. The last review that really came from the heart was Unravel that released earlier this year. That game brought out the light side of me in a way few games can. Then there's the dark side of me that I forgot about sometimes. The horror movie watching, dark literature reading fan that loves a mind-bending story that doesn't always have to have a happy ending, or even a halfway cohesive one at that. Asemblance from Nilo Studios has brought us a small, well-detailed game that will have fans starting the campaign over and over again to find the answers that they want so bad. It has been a long time since I've been so eager to unlock all the secrets in a game, and even after completing the trophy list, the intrigue is still high. The setup in Asemblance is straightforward. You wake up in a chamber that contains a device that is able to replicate your memories. A computer AI talks to you throughout the campaign that actually exists to question what memories are real, and if you are actually reliving false memories based on the dates of the said memories. There are only 3 memories to choose from, and focusing on certain objects using the right trigger unlocks secrets from another memory that you've experienced already, but just not the correct way. There is an abundance of repetition in this game that some players may not like. But this repetition allows us, the player, to get a better understanding of why any false memories exist and what happened in the main character's life to make this happen. Asemblance is a psychological thriller that takes its cues from older television shows like The Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side, and more recently, with its take on technology, Black Mirror. In fact, the developers at Nilo have mentioned that this game is part of a series where, just like the shows it takes its cues from, each game will be its own story and can be enjoyed separately. This may turn out to be a great way to market their games, and if the Asemblance is any indication, Nilo Studio may have a set of modest hits on their hands at the very least. Of course, not everything is perfect. The character model that is used in the game isn't very detailed, and there are spots in the game that seem to glitch out every once in a while. I kept on trying to focus on these spots because it seemed like an obvious thing to do. Whenever something significant happens in Asemblance, the picture glitches a bit, so looking at items that seemed to have an anomaly made sense. It was counterintuitive in the long run, but both may have been a design choice by the developers. Also, Asemblance is not a very long game either, clocking in between 1 to 2 hours to complete an ending, and even less time going through it again to get another ending. I'm not going to pretend that I know the complete story to Asemblance, but players will probably be able to put the pieces together well enough with the few endings that you can obtain. The events in the backstory may not be very original, but that is just a piece of what the game is about. In the end, Asemblance is about the extent we will go to relive or forget the past, and the human perseverance to find out the truth no matter how painful it may be. The endings aren't necessarily easy to find either. Like the famed PT, there's a lot of trial and error that will take place. The white ending will be the ending that some will obsess about obtaining, but to do so there is a set of combination of events that need to occur and even time-based. Once you figure out the sequence, you'll get most of the clues of what is going on in the story. I wouldn't say that the game is scary, either, but there is a moment or two that make you question if you'll want to continue. If 1980s David Cronenberg and Stephen King combine their talents, Asemblance may be the result. Not everyone will enjoy Asemblance, especially those in the camp that believe that narrative-driven games like the Stanley Parable or Gone Home aren't really games, quote-unquote. Asemblance is a game that will mess with your mind. The only way to get through all the different endings is to perform trial and error in all the areas that the artificial intelligence will allow you to go into. Not only will fans of this PT style of game love the dark nature of it, but it will probably create a community that will want to help one another to find the secrets along the way, assuming that hasn't already happened. Prepare to obsess over the details that may or may not exist, and enjoy the hell out of every minute of it. The staff at Nilo Studio may have an interesting idea on their hands, and if Asemblance is part of a series of games coming soon, I will have to pay the $10 again in hopes of getting another experience like this.
Where are you?
Something very strange happened while you were in there. Sometimes success requires an
My name is Brian Dahl. I'm with HeyPoorPlayer.com. Please visit our website at www.heypoorplayer.com to get all your news, reviews, and even articles.
So I did the math, and I was right. Moving on.